Joining us shortly is barrister Mrs. Chinwe Iromuaya, popularly called Chichi Iro. She's the founder of the Enabled Life Organization, an NGO committed to enabling all people living with challenges of any type, especially cerebral palsy.
Chichi Iro is the first person living with cerebral palsy to graduate from the Nigerian Law School in Lagos. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You look fabulous, by the way.
Thank
I have to
you.
start off by
Girls
saying.
are so pretty.
Thank you so much, Ma. So I want to start, take it back to, growing up and when you were younger. How was that, living with, cerebral palsy? How were you treated by friends, family and people around?
Living with cerebral palsy, I was born with it. So that's the only way I knew to live. It wasn't really a problem for me. What I hated most was stepping out of my comfort zone, which was my family home, and seeing people on the streets in Nigeria just stop and say, hey, yeah, what happened to that girl? She's so pretty. Oh, what happened? And that was my biggest problem. Because each time I left my comfort zone, they reminded me of things that I was not, aware of.
Yes.
And it actually made me feel, less than everybody else. But once I got home in my house, it was normal. They gave me the opportunity to function like any one of the other children.
And do you think, your confidence is largely born from your family? Because I was saying earlier, I have an uncle and his disability is, he's hearing impaired. But, with all of us, we can do sign language and we can communicate with him really well. And growing up, people are always like, oh, he has so much confidence and why is he able to just, do all these things, run a business and just come across, with so much confidence. So would you say your family are your main source of strength and confidence?
They have a large part to do with it, but it will be unfair to give my family all the credit because in addition to being a lawyer, I'm also a minister of God, and faith and religion has a lot to do with it. I think I came this way for a purpose. I didn't just come with the strength to do most things. I came with the boldness because you couldn't live the life that I'm living now without the boldness. So many times I say my family did a lot, but I knew where I was headed from the time I was a little girl. They could not have stopped me.
Now, for a lot of our viewers watching, they would be like, well, you seem like you speak well, you have confidence. What does it actually mean to live with cerebral palsy? Does it prevent you from being able to do certain things?
No, not for me. Because think about it, most people living with disability don't know, especially those born with it, they don't know any difference. I always ask this question, who is making these rules about who is disabled and who is not? Disabled to do what? We are just differently enabled, For instance, if we were about to make it to the wall down there, I may get there before you, cerebral palsy or not, but I may get there with a wobbly gait, while you may get there with a model-like gait. So it's just what it is. So for me, and I guess there are different levels of disability, my type of disability, no, it hasn't really prevented me from doing anything. What I just want is people to just let me do what I can my way. That's what the problem is.
Fantastic.